It was a project. It was a project that I had in mind since 2018, I believe, summertime 2018. I was super depressed, and I had a lot of dreams. And in those dreams, there was this one dream that I had where there were angels, I believe, and they all had like triple threes on their foreheads, like in the middle of their forehead. And I seen that in my dreams. They were bald too. Most of them didn't have hair. And I seen that in my dreams, and I was like I would wake up and be like, I have to put this, like, bring this to life. And my original thought for this project, I actually wanted to write 333 on their, like, everyone's, all of my subjects' foreheads, but it didn't work out like that. So I just put, like, what I seen, instead of doing the 333, I just did it without. And I mean, I still plan on to continue this project, so I will probably put triple threes on foreheads, but until then, it's just what it is now. So the first time I did this was when I started this project. I shot my friend Erica, but I was just testing the waters just to see, like, how I would want this to go. We went to this random park in, like, the middle of nowhere, in Laytonsville, Maryland, and we shot, and it was cool. I bought this silk fabric, and I wanted to, like, test it out because silk was and still is my favorite material of 2019. I felt like it, especially with this project, I wanted it to be like raw but like luxurious. So I think, like, silk to me is, like, very luxurious. So that's that. Like, I wanted to do that, and I used that with Erica, and I used that in all my other shoots also. But nothing. It didn't really, like, pick up. Like, when I shot Erica, that was, like, the start, but it didn't really, like, I didn't get, like, a vision of how I actually wanted it until I shot Imani. And Imani is a poet. She's someone I met in, like, 2018, the end of 2018. And this was our first shoot. So, she's also a Gemini. So when we got into the studio, like, I was just taking some portraits of her first. But after I took portraits, I was like, oh, now I know where this is going. And all of those photos pretty much set the tone for how I wanted this whole project to go about. And that's where most of the inspiration came from, was the shoot with her. And then after that, I just went wherever. And the funny thing about that was the fact that all of my subjects after her were Geminis. So it made so much sense after, like, especially with the 333 Nappy Child, and, like, it made so much sense, like, to me, and just made everything so much clearer. 333 is it's my angelic number. It's been my angelic number since I was very young. And I noticed that I started to notice once I turned, I believe, 15, 16. I knew that it was my angelic number because everything just made so much sense. So, backstory was and is, my mom, she was pregnant with my would have been older brother Jamal. He was supposed to be born in 1993. and he passed away like after she had him. So he wasn't really like, he was like, she had him and then he passed away. And after 3 years later, I come, and my birthday is June 3rd, 1996. So it's a lot of threes in that, like 333, 3 years after, you know what I'm saying, June 3rd, June is 6, 3 3. You know, it's a lot of threes in like in my I don't know, like in my world. Three is always my favorite number also. So it just made so much sense to just call this 323 Nappy Child. That's what that means to me. This photo that I took of my friend Bernard, he is also a Gemini, but that shoot happened when my mom was in the hospital, and the summertime was like a really rough state for me mentally, and it was like a big ass obstacle, like a huge obstacle, and I just was like tired of the summer. Started off wrong. Like started off really bad. It was like the most scariest time I had in my whole entire life, and I felt like I was running away the whole summer. I was running away from myself, and I was doing reckless shit, like just being reckless. So that shoot was inspired by just me being tired of the sun, just like how it is. It says, because he actually said it when we were shooting. Bernard he doesn't speak French like on a daily basis. So when he did it, like he was like, "Should I say something in French?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I've never heard him talk. You know what I'm saying? Like speak in French. So it was very weird because he seemed like a totally different person after he did it. So, but I just ran with it, and the first thing that he said was "Le soleil me fatigue," and I was like, and he told me what it meant, and I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." So after he said that, then the way that these photos came out was exactly how I wanted it. It was perfect. So when I thought about doing 333 Nappy Child, this is like before I had to shoot and everything. The whole concept that I wanted to bring out was just stuff from my dreams. And what inspired 333 Nappy Child, I'm not sure what inspired it. I know what inspired it actually was Curtis Mayfield, his album. There's this song on it that it's actually sampled a lot. It was sampled in Jesus Walks, Kanye. And it's when he says, like, niggas, like when he says all that stuff. But it's like it's like the craziest intro I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And it was made in, I don't know, I forgot what year it was made. It was somewhere in the 70s, but it sounds so modernized. Like it sounds so like now. Like a lot of people do the exact same, like that exact same like style now. And he did it back then. So when I heard that, it was like very like I want to recreate this, but in photos. So what that inspired me to do was like and everything in 333 Nappy Child is overexposed. Like I love that look of like extra light, like that just too much light, something that like ruins your eyes almost, and just gives you a feeling through the photo. Like, for example, this photo that I took of Marcus, who was my actual friend. He was the first person I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like, the first friend I've ever had in my life. Like, he just was there always. And I thought he was like my brother in the beginning. But when I shot him, like, we reconnected this, you know what I'm saying, this time around. And, you know what I'm saying, because we're both in, like, kind of the same field. And when we shot, I didn't know how this was going to come out until I started editing, but it was, like, crazy. Like, he literally, it was, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how I got on this. But this photo is kind of how that song sounds, that Curtis Mayfield song sounds. Like a scary, and I also, like, I would actually show, like, my friends this photo, and they would be like, I'd be like, what do you see when you see this or whatever? And, like, I'll tell them what I see. And I feel like this photo specifically could be in, like I said this to one of my friends, and I said this photo could be like because all right, backtrack. So when I have a house, like a family house, I want there to be a room for kids' time out. For kids, like for my kids' time out, it would be like a self-reflecting. So instead of, you know what I'm saying, beating them or, you know what I'm saying, punishing them for a certain amount of days, they go into this room where it has this photo and they, like, look at it and they self-reflect. I don't know. But I feel like it could help, you know. It's like therapy for them. This photo specifically looks like, it just looks like a monster. It looks like something that's coming to get you, you know? But yeah. So yeah, I mean, this photo and the photo of Bernard are like the two main ones that give me a certain feeling. Yeah. So I actually planned this. I planned this after I was done with shooting Marcus. I actually wanted to shoot more people, but it didn't work out like that. You know, things get in the way of that. But I planned on having an exhibition for this project where I was going to, you know what I'm saying, auction my photos off to whoever wants them. And I still want to do this. This is something I still want to do. But I would probably plan for it 2020, like early 2020. I would definitely have an exhibition for this where I will auction my photos off. You can see old photos that I took and have live performances. I have a lot of people that I really want to perform. Not a lot, but just one person in particular that I really want to see perform and fits the vision of this whole project. His name is his name is Mercury Carter. His vocals are out of this world, amazing, and he was part of the reason why. Like, after I heard his voice, like, photography for me was a whole different type of vibe. It gave me a whole different type of feel because of his voice actually molded this whole vision. So I really thank him for that, and I want to actually see him perform live. Like, I want him to perform, like, for this exhibition that I'm doing. So, and I've talked to him about it, and I just hope he wants to do it. But yeah, so that's where I want to go with it. 2020, where I want everyone to see the photos, you know, big. They look way better when they're, like, blown up, So I would want people to see that, and yeah, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you guys fuck with it. I don't know if you guys fuck with it or not, but hopefully you do.